It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody, to your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. Today, we're focusing all about mental health. And, you know, it's a simple yet very loaded question. Are you okay? Now, we often get an answer that doesn't really reflect the truth. And so while we're unpacking the importance of paying attention to your mental health with Dr. Hanan Bushkin, we want to find out what people out there are saying about how they feel, how they really feel during this pandemic and time.
And that's why, you know, now we're being joined via video call by Malibongwe Xaba, motivational speaker and One Young World ambassador, who recently took part in a campaign that sought to find the answers to those seemingly very simple and easy questions, right? A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us, Namhlanje. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you guys?
We're good. I think we're okay, you know. But I want to get into this because so good. You know, since the initial 21-day lockdown period was first announced, the dialogue going around that is that we are supposed to be calm and zen and peaceful because we are spending so much time in our safe space. But what is the danger of this notion and of this dialogue?
I think the danger of it is that reality starts kicking in. When I talk about reality start kicking in, responsibilities that you don't know about. We get people now losing their jobs because of this 21 days lockdown. There are businesses that are no longer running. So I think it's all those things combined in one. And sometimes being caught in one place and not be able to move. It seems like a lot of people felt as if it was prison, you know, but I think the notion of saying that is okay, it gets to a point where kids are now no longer at school. So now as a parent, you have to juggle working from home and you also have to juggle a lot of things, you know, and you are in your safe space, but there's a lot of noise around you and all those things. So I think for me personally, I believe that it is very dangerous to think that's okay, but also it was a time for us to find ourselves and find who we are, you know, as the nation or as a community or as a person.
100% agree with you, Ndiqelele, because also the rates of femicide in South Africa shot up high. So that's one of, you know, the dangers of the national lockdown and the pandemic. But when Malibongwe, you recently took part in the 3-Word Stories campaign, what powerful responses did you see? And what would you say, you know, is the truest reflection of the mental state of South Africans during this lockdown and pandemic?
I think one of the challenges that I faced during the campaign was when I was doing a campaign, a 3-word story with I am overwhelmed. And I kind of noticed that parents I recently have a lot of things that they deal with. You know, one parent called on radio and said, Malibongwe, my kid is gone. I don't know where my kid is ever since the lockdown started, you know. And parents had a lot of things that they were going through. And that for me was a challenge. How do I, as a motivational speaker, help that person who's telling me that my kid is gone, my kid is pregnant, is gone, we don't know where my kid is, and my kid is only 16 years old. So that was a challenge up until I had to say to myself, Mama, you know what? Sometimes these things will pass, you know. We need to accept certain things that will come to you, but everything will pass, you know. There's nothing under the sun that will never pass. It's just to accept that this thing is happening now and it will also pass. I think that's what I've learned during the campaign, is that there's nothing that is permanent. Now, as people, we like to make permanent decision in temporary circumstances. And this lockdown is just a temporary circumstance, and we shouldn't make permanent decisions. So that's what I learned during the campaign.
I love that. I feel like I'm at church.
Preach. Preach.
Amen.
I also want to bring it back to, you know, the dialogue of you saying when people confront that they're not okay, what is the importance of people reaching out and expressing that and saying, you know what, listen to me, I'm not okay right now. What is the importance of saying that out loud to people so that they can acknowledge that you're not okay?
I think one of the things that I like to share with people is that it's okay not to be okay. kunalento lena esiyenzayo as a nation. When a person greets you, sawubona unjani ngiyaphila, and you don't even notice that that person, maybe if you had said that you're not okay, that person could help you. It's okay, guys, not to be okay. We know we live in a society where even if a person is asking you how you're doing, you know that you slept without eating, but you're gonna say you're okay. But I think during this lockdown, we need to accept that we're not okay. We need to accept that we're going through challenging times. We need to accept that we're losing our jobs. We need to accept that every single thing that is happening around us, once we accept, it's a first step. It's a first step of moving forward. So that's what I believe in. I believe that we need to accept and move forward, because once we accept that we are not okay, it is easier for the next person to help you. Now, I live in a community called Elindelane, and I know that there are a lot of challenges that are facing in my community. So I need to, like, when I go around, when I'm asking a person, are you okay? If they don't accept that they are not okay, I'm not gonna be able to help them. Now, when you accept that you're not okay, we will be able to help you as a nation or as a community. Remember, there's this thing that it takes a village to raise a child. So if you want to live a proper life, you need to accept that you're not okay, so that the nation is going to help you. We need to grow a village. We need to grow a community. So we need to accept that we're not okay.
Malibongwe Xaba, I have learned so much from this conversation. I've learned that you need to accept that you're not okay when you are not okay, and own up to it, and not feel that you are being selfish when you express that. And also, do not make permanent decisions in temporary situations such as this one. And also, just take care of your mental and emotional well-being, man. Enkosi kakhulu for joining us namhlanje. You have shared words of inspiration and motivation for many of us South Africans out there who are going through, so much. I hope that you have a blessed morning further.
Okay, thank you very much. I like to say, bafowethu, we need to stay together and stick to the nation lockdown rules. And ngiyabonga kakhulu. Remember, it takes a village to raise a child, and singakwazi ukuthi siqhubekele phambili if we believe. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.